What's happening, people? It's the homie Smitster 400, one half of Straight Off the Ave, and this is Smitster Reacts. You know what I'm saying? And what we about to get into today is the homie Gene Deal is back on Art of the Dialogue, and this time what he's saying is Diddy flew out a 17-year-old. Now, this is the one that I'm assuming has the not I'm assuming. This is the one that has uh one of the latest cases on him. So yeah, man, we gonna review this, man, or actually react to this. And review this, react to this, and see what he talking about, man, cause that's crazy. Let's get it.
How do you feel about this new lawsuit? It's a girl that was 17 at the time accusing Harv Pierre of forcing her to give him fellatio. And she also claims that Diddy, he flew her to New York and he gang raped her in his recording studio called Daddy House.
Well, I think that any man that force any woman to do anything, it should be like the Arab countries. They just start cutting shit off, to be totally honest, of that man. Any man that forces any woman to do anything, they should treat them like they treat them in the Arab countries and just start cutting shit off.
Hey, yo, Gene said, Gene said they need to he said he said they need to damn. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh crumbs.
From their fingers to their hands to their feet to their genitals to their head. You know what I'm saying? So now, another thing of it is that how low do you have to be when you're going to put somebody on a jet and fly them all the way to New York to the studio? To me, bro, to be totally honest, it sounds kind of fishy to me. I can't, but and then it came from Harv Pierre. The Harv Pierre I knew back in them days was a cornball that did everything Puff said. You know what I mean? Like he was one of Diddy highest dick riders. So I don't know that Harv Pierre. The time they said it happened when I was reading in 2003, I was around at that time. You know what I'm saying? Me and about 8, 9 other bodyguards. See, what people don't know, that Puff had a lot of bodyguards. Everybody has certain days. You understand? I had Saturdays and Sundays. And then when Puff went away or they were certain places and I was off work, they may call me and say, yo, Gene, Puff wants you here. Can you come? This, that, and the third. And if I could, I would. If I did, I didn't. It wasn't no big thing. So for them to do that, man, that's some real thirsty, desperate shit. That's some real thirsty, desperate shit for them to fly a 17-year-old girl, you know, on a G5. They was flying G5 and G4 jets back then. All the way to New York to gang rape her in the studio.
Yeah, that is a little bit crazy, man. Like I'm speechless. Of all the like there's so many like grown women, like beautiful grown women, you feel me, that you could, you know, fly out if that's what you're trying to do. Why choose to fly out someone so young? It's because they so young and impressionable. That's what it is. Like it seemed, because even with the Cassie ish, she was young. You feel me? And then like even with R. Kelly's ish, they were young girls. You know, shoot, that's what they like to do. They like to groom them. You feel me? It's all a matter of being groomed. Let's continue.
Man, I wish I could, I wish I could give them their punishment if that's true.
Yeah, that's what she said, man. She said that Diddy, he flew her to New York, took her to the studio, gave her drugs, and gang raped her. And there's pictures online too. So she was at his studio, Daddy House. So, I mean, she ain't lying about that. She was there, man.
Well, if anything at that time, if anything came from Detroit, it was one of Puff A&R. They called him Slam. He was from Detroit. He used to set up everything, for Diddy. The time I told y'all about Diddy getting the fellatio when Jennifer Lopez was upstairs, Slam set that up. You know what I mean? So if it came from Detroit, it probably came from Slam. Because he was another one of the dudes that was a flunky around there. But it's crazy, man. I really don't. I got daughters, man. I have words. I don't have words for that, bro. And I don't know any of the guys who were officers that worked for Bad Boy like myself would allow that shit to happen. They wouldn't allow that shit to go down. Puff and them, they know what to do when certain people are around. Do you understand? When they got those dudes who was, from the hood and they was doing bodyguard work and they was doing stuff like that, they maybe, but I don't know any of the officers that I knew that was working for Puff would allow any of that shit to go down. Because they know they could lose their job and they could be brought up on charges too. People ain't dumb. People ain't stupid. And there ain't that much money in the hip-hop world to lose your job behind some dumb shit like that. That shit was crazy, bro, to do that to that little girl. But she's got to prove it. And she has to prove it by saying this. She has to tell, she cannot come out and say that this happened to her 20 years ago and she never told nobody else. Or she never tried to do something, about it. She had to tell somebody 20 years ago, when I was there, they did this to me. She had to write it in a diary or something like that, and she has to prove to the courts that this actually happened to her.
Right. Are you familiar with Daddy House?
Am I familiar with it? Am I familiar with it? Yeah. 44th between Broad, was it 8th, 7th and 8th? Yeah, between, I think 8th. 8th is going that way, is going down to between 7th and 8th. Yeah, I'm familiar with Daddy House. Yep.
Was he known for having relations with females at his studio? Did you know about it?
It never happened on my, I never seen him work. I never seen him mess with anybody on my watch at Daddy House. It was always business. When I went to Daddy House with Puff, it was always business. You know what I'm saying? We'll be coming from a club or something like that. He wanted to check on the artist. He wanted to check on the song or stuff like that. Or he'll have Ms. Lopez come over. Or he'll be checking on some music or whatever like that in the studio. It was always business when I was over there with him. No, now sometimes you get the groupies and the girls come up in there and stuff like that. But Puff never did none of it. Puff never did none of that shit around me. Like on some, they naked and having sex parties and shit like that at Daddy House. No, I never saw that.
Man, look. That's crazy. Just to see that on the screen, right? He flew a 17-year-old out. That's crazy. And like I said, of all the women in the world, like all the he could probably have hella beautiful women. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with Gene. I don't think that it was any off duties or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it was those type that, you know what I'm saying, everybody done been around parties and these clubs, these security guards be like straight out the hood type ish, and to them, that's an opportunity to, live like a star. You feel me? You with the stars, so you doing what the stars do. No bueno. But yeah, man, like, share, comment, subscribe. You feel me? Sound off in the comments. I want to thank everybody that has been subscribing, everybody that has been returning, everybody that has been, if you share our content, you know what I'm saying? From the bottom of my heart, I'm very gracious. Dub is very gracious, and episode 2 is coming this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. It's the homie, Smitster 400. This has been Smitster Reacts. Owie.